there, Chocs and Chocettes and in between. Roberto here for another video review. It's the limited edition. It focuses in, I think. Well, there you go. Yes, limited edition Lindt Lindor Shortbread. Yes, irresistibly smooth shortbread. Well, looks like it's got pieces of. I mean, is it really irresistibly smooth? It's got bits of shortbread in there. By the looks of it, milk chocolate truffles with shortbread pieces and a smooth melting filling. I guess the smooth melting filling is technically smooth. But it's got bits of shortbread in it, so is it really? I feel like they've used the same slogan but forgot that actually isn't the case anymore. But I do like the colour. Purple's my favourite colour. I do like this one. I feel like I've seen purple in the Lindt Lindor shop before. I don't know if shortbread's been around for a long time, but I wouldn't have thought it would have done, really, would you, really? You know, but yeah. But anyway, how will this work? Because shortbread, well, that's what shortbread basically typically is. It can come in any shape, but that's the typical shape, isn't it? And I think normally it's quite a buttery biscuit. Will it work as little crunchy bits like that? Could you really get the effect of it? Is it? I mean, is it just shortbread to make it sound like it's just not normal biscuit, but really it is? I mean, you could have put shortbread in there, you know, by any means, but would you really tell that it's shortbread? You know, well, we'll find out. All right, so what else has it got going on here? It's got all the Lindt leaf green bobs, whatever they are. Let me know if you know what they are. It's got milk chocolate with shortbread pieces and a smooth melting filling, it says. And there's all the ingredients. Got palm kernel in there. It's basically palm fat for test purposes. Shortbread pieces 3%, rice flour, butter 27%. Right. And then milk chocolate taste, cocoa size 30% minimum, milk size 21% minimum. There's the French there. 200 grams, 15 pieces. Okay, and I always mention the guy in a smock. He's never touched chocolate in his life because he'd be covered in it. Certainly around the mouth, but definitely on his smock itself. And it's got the usual stuff. Yes, wherever and whenever you take a Lindor moment, it just seems to make life feel so much more sublime. When you unwrap Lindor and break its delicate chocolate shell, the irresistibly smooth filling starts to melt, gently carrying you away in a moment of bliss. Right, Lindor, created by the Lindt master chocolatiers, passion and love for chocolate since 1845. Quality guarantee, get in touch and I'm happy, stuff like that. And it's got the Lindt and Sprungly, farming program, there you go. So that's important to you, all this kind of thing. I'd definitely look into it because I imagine it's not that straightforward. And we've got the calories on the bottom. Right, very calorific Lindors. So per 100 grams, that's half the tub. 620 calories, 47 grams of fat, 35 of which are saturated. So for the whole thing, goodness me, 1,240 calories, 94 grams of fat, 70 of which are saturated. So be very careful with these ones. There's the recycle information. Do not recycle, it says. Wrapping, I assume. Stored in a cool, dry place. All right, and there's various other languages saying the same thing, presumably. All right, there we go. Okay, interesting. I'm sure it used to say highly meltable. What does it say? No, somewhere it says highly meltable. I've not seen it this time, but usually it says that, but I've not seen it, as I say. Don't know. All right, maybe it's not highly meltable. We usually say that. All right, well, if we just need to move stuff down, give this an open, don't we? So let's do just that and see what's like on the inside. Okay, everyone, okay, again, these Lindt Lindor Shortbreads, limited edition shortbread edition. And open, and why not? So let's get straight into these. So yeah, please like this video if you've not done so already, and subscribe to the channel. It really helps me out, so please do that, and that's been much appreciated. Oh, hang on, what's it say? Lindt, you choose the moment, we'll provide the bliss. Resealable pack. Alright, so it looks like you reseal it by putting it on the top, but I think you're meant to. I mean, yeah, pop it into that gap there. I think, or somewhere. It's not very easy, it's very flimsy. There you go, it does work. But why you need to reseal it really, when they're all individually wrapped, I don't know. But there we are. Okay, before I do that, so you can see they don't go all the way to the top. There's plenty of space in here. Not loads, but, well, there is loads actually. Can you imagine if they weren't wrapped as well? You could definitely fit about another 4, couldn't you? Another 5 maybe. When you consider there's only, was it 14 in the tub? Or in the pack, in the box? I think it said that, didn't it? I thought it said how many are in here, but I can't see it now, so I don't know, maybe I made that up. But anyway, let's tip them out, see how many there are. If we count them, can't we? I'm sure it said there was 14 in here, somewhere on this box. So how many actually are there then? With regards to what it may have said. So 5, 10, so that's 15, 16. Right, so 16 in the tub. Alright, don't worry, I thought there was 14 before for some reason. I don't know if I made that up, whether they actually said there was 14. But either way, we got, oh, there we go, yes. So it's done the 15, so I actually got an extra one here. There we go, but if you consider you could fit in 4 more, like I say, at least maybe even 5 more, it's like a third, isn't it, if you could fit in 5 more, so it's quite a lot really. But we've got one extra. How nice. Alright, so what we'll do is we'll move these away. because I don't need all these ones. We'll keep a couple out. There we go. Keep that out. Okay. All right. So let's give an open. I think it's going to look pretty similar to all of the Lindors, but as it does have a shortbread filling, or at least there's some pieces of shortbread in there. Shortbread crumble. It melts. It feels like it's got a bit of a oily feel to it. We can see there's a nubbin filling at the top and a reverse nubbin at the bottom. It helps it stand up maybe. Yeah, it kind of does. Right, let's give it a bit of a measure. Do I have the calipers to hand? Yes, I do. Alright, here we go. Okay. See, so nubbin to nubbin. Reverse nubbin and proper nubbin. It is 2.8 centimetres. 2.9 almost. And the other side 2.8 as well, 2.7 this time now, but rounded up. Alright, there we go. Okay, and yeah, there we are. That's it. Alright, so I'll give it a bit of a chop. So we'll probably chop it down the nubbin side, see if we've got any gappages going on. I think it's probably the best way to do it. There's a seal you can see. It's strangely sealed there, not where the nubbins are, which is odd. You can see that seam there, can't you? Just about. Right, we'll see if there's any gappages. Usually there's a bit of a gap at the top where this nubbin is in Lindors. It's not usually ridiculous, but alright, there we go. Yeah, you can see a bit of a gap there at the top. I'm sure they could fill that in properly, you know what I mean? Shouldn't really be a gap, should there? You know, I realise I might want to be careful not to spill any, but you know. So there's some bits of shortbread, I think. I think that's a bit there, isn't it? I think it seems to be more in a chocolate, doesn't it, on the inside the shortbread pieces. You can see bits coming through there. So I don't know. It's not even in the centre really. I'm sure in the here it's kind of saying it was in the centre. No, it does look to be on the outside actually. I think I assumed that it was on the inside because that was pouring over the inside, I thought, but it's not. It's just kind of filling it up, I guess, and pouring over the outside. So, all right, interesting. So there's nothing actually in the inside here. See, plenty of gaps as well. Yeah, don't know. I feel like it's not very well filled. Shortbread pieces are quite small. I don't think we'll be able to tell this is shortbread. I think it's just a posh way of saying there's bits of biscuit in there. But obviously it could be shortbread, not all the same, you know, but will you be able to tell it's shortbread from being so small? I doubt it, especially with all the chocolate around it, but let's find out. Let's open this up, give it a taste. Here on a cave, going to these limited edition Lindt Lindor Shortbreads. A taste, well not actually Lindt Lindor Shortbreads, but shortbread truffle, I guess, or at least, well, basically got bits of biscuit on the outside, which may or may not be shortbread. I assume it is, but there we go. And it looks like it's going to be on the inside there, doesn't it? Because it's covering that with the chocolate, but that's actually presumably filling the inside, and it is actually on the outside when we looked at it before. What's it actually say on the side? Shortbread piece. So it does say shortbread pieces, so we'll find that out if that's if you can tell the shortbread pieces. If it just should be anything. I guess it's a posh way of saying it, isn't it, really? But right, well, I've just opened a new one, so let's give this a taste. Nice crunches. I would describe them as micro crunches. Not bad, not bad. Can you taste shortbread? No, you really can't. It tastes nice. I mean, there's a nice general taste to it. Sometimes Lindor's for me a bit too creamy, a bit too sickly, but not bad. Not bad, this one. It doesn't seem to be that case. It's got small over the years, I'm not sure, but yeah, but the biscuit itself, it doesn't really even taste of biscuit. It just tastes of crunchy bits that could be Rice Krispie pieces. There's nothing really to say it's shortbread at all. You don't get any kind of... I mean, you get quite a lot of buttery taste from the Lindor centre itself. So the strength of shortbread is the fact that it's quite a buttery biscuit, but obviously it's quite crumbly and a biscuit-like. But these are just micro crunches, really. You don't get any biscuit experience from this at all. Maybe you can slightly tell that it's biscuit rather than Rice Krispie pieces, but it's very minor. So pointless, basically, to be shortbread in this. You really can't taste it. You can taste that there's biscuit pieces there or crunchy bits there, but you know, you can barely tell that it's biscuit, really, never mind shortbread. So it's just a posh way of saying that there's biscuit pieces in there, really. Nonetheless, they're quite nice. I like crunchy bits in my chocolate and things. But these are micro crunchies, so not really, you know, they're not really proper crunchy pieces, really big pieces, which I would have preferred. And they're in the shell of the chocolate as well, rather than in the centre. And I think I would have preferred them in the centre, really. Lindor's could potentially be quite special if they do something a bit different. Have a core of biscuits in there, maybe that was actually shortbread, or a core of something else. You know, I think that would actually be amazing. But as it stands, you know, they're still nice. I know a lot of people like them. They're not my favourite because they're just a bit too sickly for me, but they're okay. But this one I think is a bit of a it's a typical limited edition, really. I mean, it's just, you know, it's not bad or anything, but it's certainly not great. This could have been a lot better had it been bigger pieces and things like this. But, you know, I think it's one of those, again, another limited edition where you probably have it once but never really bother with it again and not be too worried about not seeing it again, really. But it's not too bad. It's nice to have the crunches in. I prefer them over regular Lindors, but there's nothing too dramatic there, really, to be honest with you. So, I think for me, Lindors for me are 3.5 or 4, maybe. Yeah, I think this one's probably a 3.5 out of 5. You know, it's not bad, but it's certainly you just can't. It's no point in being shortbread. There's just no point. You know, it's just honestly, which is a real shame. You know, real shame. If you could actually tell it was shortbread, which I don't know how you could really, because it'd be quite difficult. Shortbread needs to be quite substantial to be able to tell it's shortbread. You know, to get that butteriness from it. And even if it was substantial, would you still be able to tell because of the fact there's so much, you know, Lindor, which is buttery in itself? I don't know. You probably would if it was a big piece in the centre or something like that, but I think if they were just like regular, even sort of slightly bigger pieces, you know, I still think you'd have trouble, even if they weren't micro crunches, basically. But there we go. Interesting. Well, let me know what you think. What's your favourite Lindor, and do you like these ones? And if you wish it wasn't limited edition, let me know. Leave a comment. Always great to hear from you. Always do best to apply. Now have a great day. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye for now. See ya.